Welcome back to the After Hours Gaming League semi-final number 1 between Amazon and Storm8. We are in game number 5. We've seen Amazon after, well, stumbling in game number 2, but we've seen them just sweep through some of these other players here. While there have been some really good contests, of course, we've seen a really interesting start with that PvP with the interesting Forge expansion from Shiver. We then saw, of course, the TVP, I believe it was, with Short Round taking out Char Shui. Then we saw game number 3, a Zerg vs Zerg, where interestingly Metzelmats was able to push ahead and take a big lead in the mute account, which of course is any Zerg player, and basically anyone else from other races will know that is a pretty good thing. And then, of course, in game number 4, unfortunately, Terran sitting on one basis for a little bit too long than perhaps would have been more efficient, but was not able to contend with the Rage Cage, coming out with his random Zerg and able to take the victory here in game number 5, playing for Storm8, wanting to take a victory here, otherwise he's going to be a little bit sad. It is Uber Derby. He's going to be our red Terran player here, getting that Rax, of course. Not going to go too cheesy when you're in this sort of situation. And here at match point is our blue Protoss player here for Amazon. It is Catfish. And we'll see what he is going to get up to here on Newkirk Precinct. Of course, one of the interesting maps in the map pool, it does... there are various sorts of plays that you can do on this map. Of course, as we can see, a lot of cliff space for things such as blinks and these kinds of things, not only there in the main base, but also through the backside of the natural as well. You can see Terran players commonly expanding pretty quickly on this map. We'll probably see Uberdubbing play very safe. I would not be surprised if we see him go for the old Rax factory kind of build, where you get out a couple of Widow Mines and try and make sure that you've got defenses against things like early blink attacks, and of course the Mothership Core and Oracles and these kinds of crazy, wonderful things that Protoss can pull out. Whereas for Catfish, of course, you know, we'll see. He can play safe, he can play cheesy. His Team Amazon is in a very powerful position right now, just given that they do have a couple of, you know, free shots at taking out the win here. But Uberdami going to scout through both of these Masters players, of course, very well versed in what each of their races are capable of doing, so he does scout that the second gas is there. A little bit of a later second gas compared to what you would normally see, but we'll see if he is going to scan out what's going on. Looks like the Cyber Core finishes up back at, well, on Uberdami's side of the map. It looks as if we are going to get a proxy Stargate, I would assume. I highly doubt it's a Robo. This would be a terrible spot for a Robo, but it looks like Catfish is going to throw down a Stargate. And I would implore, if we could just take a second now, right now, for the Terran players to, you know, take a little bit of time to think about something. This particular position along this side here, just basically anywhere along here, is a very common spot to see Stargate proxies come out. So if you're a Terran player, always scan out this spot. I cannot stress that enough. I've had it happen a couple of times where, you know, I've scanned that out and it's like, alright, you can't do that on this map because I've seen it and it's a very common position. So do make sure you're scanning out that sort of thing. But anyway, back to the action. We've got Uberdami under a little bit of pressure right at the front. His bunker a little bit late. He is going up to the reactor barracks play. This is a very common way, a very safe way to play out this particular matchup. As we said, get out a few Marines and then, of course, grab a Widow Mine or two, and you can be able to you know, take this expansion very safely, and it protects you against all sorts of pressure that can come along. But Uberdami, unfortunately, with his expansion going down straight away at the natural, he's put himself in a little bit of a difficult spot right now. SCV is having to come along to try and defend against this, and speaking of defense, the Mothership Core has now just danced her way through the sky and is now inside the main base of Uberdami. No real defenses in here. Where is the Widow Mine? Unfortunately, he has not been able to get that Widow Mine out, which is a very key part of defending against this sort of Oracle proxy, which we are about to see. And it looks as if the bunker at the front door is going to go down as well. Uberdami is in all sorts of trouble right now. There is an Oracle about to pop out. The Mothership Core has 4 kills. Of course, it takes at least 3 to 4 Marines to actually kill off a Mothership Core. This guy is not going to have a fun time at all, and the Mothership Core is just all over the place right now. She is doing all sorts of damage, up to a total of 6 kills. The Oracle sweeps through, activates that Pulsar Beam, and is now just going to tear apart every single thing here. Ubadami, unfortunately, are going to go down, I would say here. No way to defend against any of this, and he agrees. A GG comes out from the Storm8 player, and that means that we are going to see Amazon move through to the grand final of the After Hours Gaming League Season 3. Make sure you are, of course, checking out all the casts, not only from myself, but also from the other 2 sets of casters, and you can then vote for us in the So You Think You Can Cast competition. Has been a whole lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for all of your support, and I'll catch you all next time. Cheers.